Hello and welcome to No Time to Quest. My name is Jay. Now, this is just essentially the news that Crowfall is entering its beta on the 11th of August, but we're also very quickly going to try and answer if this is the game and the time for you right now. Now, obviously, that's too big of a subject and probably deserves its own video long term, but we'll just try and explain the game, see if it's something you want to jump into right now. Obviously, nobody has played the beta because the beta is not out. So we might want to wait a few weeks before we make that determination. Now, what is Crowfall? So Crowfall is a game that is essentially trying to turn the MMO genre on its head and mix things up in unique ways. And the main way that they're going to do that is that your character will be forever, but the world or the server is actually going to die. And there will be a winner and loser. Now, they're calling these campaigns, and this campaign will have specific sets of rules, but there will be a winner or a loser there, and you'll be able to take some things out of that and maybe either take them into the next campaign or put them into your eternal kingdoms. And your eternal kingdoms are basically like your, it's not your own personally instanced zone, because you can set if people can join or not, but it's basically your world where you can set up crafting tables and all that kind of stuff. So, that campaign, though, will have its own cool rules, which might be like take as many forts as possible, or kill as many people, do X or Y, and there will be a winner and loser. And those winners and losers are generally going to be like guilds, and you're going to win mostly by PvPing. You can win by crafting and being a merchant and all that kind of stuff, but really PvP about people holding forts and doing sieges is really the core of that game. There'll be a winner and a loser, your character will stay, but the world will change and you'll start again. So it's like reset every time. Now, the beta is coming out on the 11th of August, and with it there's going to be a wipe, and that means all the characters are back to level. Nobody's going to have a big advantage there. Now, if you wanted to get into the beta, you might be asking, how do I get in? Well, there's two current ways. One is random and one is, more guaranteed. The random way is to just sign up to the beta through the website. You can just click beta sign up there, or you can pay. And if you pay, you're basically buying the game and you're getting access to the game now and forever. So you'll be able to play in the alpha and the beta. Obviously, the alpha is turning into the beta, so that's it. You don't have to buy all the funky stuff, and I haven't got into the whole of what the game is, but you can get into the beta by paying. Now, what has happened recently that might mean that you want to get into this game? So with the alpha, you might have seen the Lazy Peon video where he was struggling to get into the game, and I must confess that has happened to me multiple times. I backed this game in 2016, and I've many times gone into the game, never made it to the end game. I never made it to the PvP sieges with everybody involved. Partly because I don't want to commit that much time, but partly because the actual just like starting has been a little bit complicated. But they have now put in like a new player experience, which like levels you up from like 1 to 20 or whatever it is. So that's in there. That was in the alpha, but obviously the beta is going to include that as well. And they say with the beta, and this one is a key thing for me, that the optimization of it is going to be much better. And that's important for me because I have like a mid-range system that's a few years old. Like I think I have like a 1060, something like that. So not amazing, but the game, it doesn't run very well. 30 to 40 frames per second quite often, and dipping at times, and that's just in the starter zones kind of thing. So they say there's going to be improvements, so that is interesting. So let's have a quick look at the actual game, can we? I've just lost my connection, but I won't click anything there. So there's the Eternal Kingdoms that I spoke about. That is basically your instance zone. God's Reach is where you're going to level up, and the leveling up won't take very long. So you need to get into the campaigns, you need to be minimum level 15, but to get to level 30 can take less than 2 hours. So the actual leveling up isn't necessarily a problem. It's just God's Reach is sort of like a permanent play versus monsters. You won't get many rewards in there. All the rewards are generally in the campaigns, but that is where you're going to get the good stuff. Now, really, for me, the game boils down to what kind of player are you? Are you a casual player who likes to play solo most of the time, which is sort of what I am, and I make no bones about that. If anything, that No Time to Quest is an indication of that. And for me, if I didn't already have the beta, I probably wouldn't play. I wouldn't buy to get into it now. I would maybe wait, see how the beta goes, and then once the game is due for release, maybe I'd get it a little bit early just so I could get a feel for it before the game actually went live. But I would probably, in your situation, just wait till it was live. I'm not sure how the game will end up for like solo casual players. I don't think the game isn't really aimed at you or me in that sense. It's aimed for PvP players. Now, how much can a PvP player really add to some serious good campaigns? Well, I'm here to try and find out the answer, and I'll hopefully try and find the answer during the beta. If, on the other hand, you're a hardcore PvP player, which, you know, I sort of in theory, that's my dream. I'm just not there. If you're a hardcore PvP player with already a guild, oh sure, crack in, jump in. You might want to jump into this because that is essentially what this game is for. I really like the fact that it's trying to turn the MMO genre on its head and have like these like winners and losers, and the server or the campaign like matters. So you know you'll be in a campaign, and your alliance with this other guild will really make a difference. Like that kind of stuff, I think, is missing in a lot of games. And Crowfall has a sort of relatively narrow niche. You know, there's not going to be 40 versus 40 man raids with big giant monsters really in instant zones. It's not really about that. It's more about these sieges and controlling area and territory, and then maybe even going on PvP runs to make sure other people can't gather their resources and that kind of stuff. It's that kind of game, and which is very interesting to me. I just hope that I can sort of contribute something with the minimum amount of time that I'm willing to put into it. Obviously, putting time into a beta is its own questionable thing because the game, well, there's going to be at least one more wipe when the game actually goes live. So whether or not you want to dedicate time to something that's fleeting is a question you might want to ask yourself. But really, the core point of this video is that the beta is going live, and if you're interested in the beta, then now would be a good time. If you're interested in the game, then this beta would be a really good time to jump in. If you already have access to it, maybe you're like me, you already have access to it, you backed it yonks ago, now would be a time to consider actually playing it. I know that's what I'm going to be doing. Whether or not I'll stick around, I honestly have no idea. So maybe we'll come back once we've played the beta a little bit more intensely, and we'll come back and we'll see if it's worth it. Because yeah, there's many people like Zyback, he's like massive content creator who makes all the PvP videos and stuff like that. They'll know this game inside and out, and I sort of watch them, but I've never really been a part of them. So hopefully now is something I can start. Oh, there's an ice cream van, so this is a good time to end it as I may run off and go get an ice cream like a little kid because I am a child at heart. But that's it. Like really, it's hard to. The beta's starting. Now would be a time. We have a bit of a window before in terms of MMOs. Yes, something like Final Fantasy 14's just got a new patch. I think obviously Shadowlands patch will be on the horizon some point. But before then, there's a window now where you might be like, I'll give it a bash. Maybe. I think that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're going to jump into it. I don't have like an affiliate link, but depending on if people like it and follow me and watch the streams and stuff like that, we might end up creating one. But for now, I don't have one. Have a most beautiful day. Let me know if you're considering getting into it. Goodbye.